let's go right into it. Lamar Jackson, there's a narrative that I guess he's injury prone due to his style of play, but former Ravens offensive coordinator Greg Roman debunks this theory in a piece he wrote for the 33rd Team. Roman writes that, quote, Jackson was such a master of avoiding hits, and honestly, he was safest when he was out in space, on the move, because he was in control, as opposed to in the pocket with his eyes downfield, hoping somebody doesn't run into the back of his legs. The few times he got injured, of course, this is Greg Roman's words, his former offensive coordinator, were behind the line of scrimmage, looking to make a throw down the field. Greg Roman certainly knows what he's talking about in this capacity. After all, he designed the Ravens offense around Lamar Jackson. So maybe we can set that narrative aside. The fact remains that Lamar Jackson's football future remains very much in limbo. So let's go to Peter immediately.
Yeah.
What should the Ravens be looking to do, buddy?
I don't know if the Ravens have the cards on this one. So it's like, what are the Ravens looking to do? Well, they can do a lot of things. What if Lamar Jackson doesn't want to be on the Ravens, or if Lamar Jackson wants a certain amount of money the Ravens aren't willing to give? There has to be some sort of budge here. I go back to the guaranteed contract thing, and it's going to be a topic right up until this thing is settled. And it's going to be a topic with Joe Burrow's contract and Justin Herbert's contract and Jalen Hurts' contract. And the fact that the Browns truly did something last year. I don't think we realized even at the time the ramifications on what it would mean to the quarterback market. Here's the quote that Steve Bisciotti had at last year's league meetings. I don't know that he should have been the first guy to get a fully guaranteed contract. To me, that's something that is groundbreaking, and it will make negotiations harder with others. That's over a year ago. And when you say others, it means our guy. So here comes Lamar Jackson, and whether or not he demanded this amount or this amount or this amount, we know that he wanted a certain number, and that number, at least at one point, was supposed to be more than Deshaun Watson. Whether it was more guaranteed money, whether it was more money overall, and the Ravens weren't willing to do that, and the Ravens put their foot down. What can they do? Well, I think they've tried a lot, and I don't think it's necessarily gone the distance the way that they wanted. Like, they've been down to Florida to meet with him. It didn't go anywhere. They've negotiated with him directly. It hasn't worked. To me, what's interesting is it's like this feeling, and again, I've been watching from afar, and I've been like watching our show, and been like, guys, Lamar puts out that tweet that he had a trade demand while John Harbaugh is addressing the media. Yeah. And everyone on Twitter, because we're in such a reaction, was like, Lamar dropped the mic. That was a week ago. Nothing happened. Like, they didn't rush to pay Lamar. They didn't trade Lamar. Yeah. This is one of those deals where it's like a nuclear war and both sides have to budge on this. But with the Ravens not knowing fully what Lamar wants and Lamar maybe wanting something that's more than the Ravens are willing to give, I think this one ends up with, he wants a trade. And are you going to sit the season out or not, Lamar? Because I think the Ravens are more than willing to pay him $32 million. I don't think they're willing to pay him $250 million guaranteed.
Peter, do you think that while it wasn't the mic drop moment that Lamar maybe wanted it to accomplish, do you think he did it intentionally, the timing of it, the specific? Because you said he sat down, Coach Harbaugh sat down, and the tweet came out.
Yeah,
he had to answer to it.
There was a lot of strategy behind that. And now Lamar might not say that it was, but it was perfectly timed if you're looking to make noise and put your coach into a tough situation where he has to answer questions the only time, of course. Like, that was, of all the minutes, that was the minute he chose. And Harbaugh, we love Lamar, we love Lamar, we love Lamar, we love Lamar. And then you're like at home, like, but is that lip service? I don't know. I don't think we're any better off a week later from Lamar doing that or not doing that. And yet at the time it was like, oh, snap. I don't know. He's still on the franchise tag, and he hasn't signed it yet. So
I like that as soon as you sit down, Peter, you've been off for a month, you compare it to nuclear war.
Yeah.
I think you just compared Lamar to North Korea.
Yeah,
Welcome back, Peter.
Or the Ravens.
We don't know.
I'm not the one saying who and where. It just,
incredible.
I feel like there's some brinksmanship going on here. Yeah. And I don't think either side is any closer than we were when I wasn't on the show for the last 3 weeks.
I think it's so fitting right now. We were talking about you having a new addition to the family, and it's kind of like being a new parent. You're getting advice from everybody. Like, imagine being Lamar Jackson right now. Everybody's telling him what to do. Everybody, hey, man, you got to take this deal. Or, oh, no. You need guaranteed money. Like, he's literally hearing from everybody how to swaddle this baby now. There's the proper technique here, right? You got to fold it over here. You got to fold it over here. You got to do the legs first. You can't let them come out. Otherwise, they're going to cry. They're going to scratch their face. Look, Lamar, here's the deal, man. Like, bet on yourself, all right? I'm going to be one of those guys. I'm going to teach you how to swaddle. I'm going to tell you how to do it, all right? Joe Flacco did it as well. Like, everybody's acting like, oh man, the Ravens they're dirty for this, or Lamar should be doing this. This is business, all right? To quote Jay-Z, I'm not a businessman. I'm not a business man.
Go on.
I'm a business.
There you go, buddy.
Man. Lamar
Chris
Jackson
Rock botching the punchline at the end.
is
Yeah.
a business.
Tom's got 99 problems.
Baltimore knows it too, and I don't think they're doing anything wrong. He's not doing anything wrong. And you know what? Like, the franchise tag is meant to get a long-term deal. And you know what? Look, Lamar, go ball out. Now, the one thing Baltimore can do is help him out with some surrounding cast. Give him some receivers. Give him some. Like, every year, I feel like we're talking about how's Lamar going to go out there and compete against Jamar Chase and the Buffalo Bills and all these other guys when he's got all these.
And
receivers.
it's just all's well as ends well. Go out and ball out, Lamar, and it's all going to be like.
I don't think it's the saga and the drama that everybody thinks it is. I mean, it's different because Lamar doesn't have an agent. So I think that there's been some handling of that differently. But I think for Lamar, take care of your business. And, you know, we're talking about Greg Roman saying he injured on the field. I've heard different stories about Lamar just needs to take care of himself a little bit better off the field. And I think here's the thing. If you get hurt on the field and you're working out, you're training, you're doing everything that everybody's asking you to do, that's the game. That's part of the game. But when you're not necessarily taking care of your body off the field, then when stuff happens, now all of a sudden they hold it against you.
That's like a rumor. That's what people say about Lamar.
Yeah.
That
I've just heard things that it's not where it should be.
Wow.
Okay. They should probably trade him. I mean, listen,
To who though? That's my thing. Like,
I don't know. Well, like they should.
he's still going to want the same stuff, and no team is saying.
Yeah.
This feeling of like, why aren't the Colts or why aren't the Falcons rushing to him? Because he wants $250 million guaranteed.
Well, maybe they should go from saying he's
picks.
available to actively pursuing. You know, like calling people actively. If he doesn't want to be there and you don't want to pay him what he wants and he doesn't want to take what you want, maybe you just say, look, we gave it 4 great years. It was incredible. Almost half of which we've tried to extend him. We maximized the height of his running ability, which is still his greatest weapon. You know, he has the same playoff record as Kirk Cousins. Maybe we should be calling everybody now, and maybe this is going to happen. And the draft is coming, and one of the things we talked about, Peter, is these draft picks that everyone talks about from the Jets and the Packers and the Ravens, they immediately become far less valuable the second the draft happens because you have to wait an entire calendar year to use them. So the question of to who, yes, sure, that's the thing. And all we say is Colts and Falcons and Falcons and Colts until we're blue in the face. But I think the Ravens have done everything they could possibly do to not trade him. Maybe sometimes you start using that switchboard and going actively to do it. Because if he doesn't want to be there, the nuclear, eventually, like you're just like, maybe we just have to launch. I don't know, because we're staring at each other for years.
Washington's a crosstown rival, if you will. If the Washington Commanders call, do you...
Out of conference, out of everything?
You say yes?
Yeah, if the package is enough. I'd rather that than Lamar doesn't show up to training camp and he doesn't sign the tender, and now we're like an absolutely.
What about to New England, your arch rivals for so many years? And
less desirable. Yeah. Washington sounds great.
Yeah.
Great.
Every day that passes, the emotional value on this to me goes up to the point where I think we've tipped the scale in my mind that he doesn't want to be back in that building. And I'm not sure if I were the Ravens ownership or management or coaches, like, this is like a breakup that has happened, and now they have to go to a wedding together that you still committed to, and you're standing at the cocktail hour, and you hear your ex over there opining about, oh, I love her so much. I love her 100%, 200%. I love her that much. And you're listening to this like, I'm sorry, why are you saying this about me now when I was asking for your affection for the last 2 years? When I was asking for you to commit to me? And now we've broken up. My stuff is half out of the apartment. My U-Haul is coming tomorrow.
Yep.
And you're still telling people about how great I am? I don't really want to hear it. I wish you had paid that lip service over the last couple of months or years. This, to me, took issue last summer when he put a cutoff on a training after training camp in the season, said, I don't want to talk about this anymore. In my mind, that's when this all changed. He was telling everybody he was done talking about it, which I think meant he wanted to be done dealing with it. So now his feelings have been hurt, I think rightfully so, for the last 9 months. And I'm not sure if he wants to be walking those halls in that building. I know I wouldn't.
Look, they trade for Roquan Smith midseason. Roquan Smith also represents himself. Roquan Smith and the Ravens worked out a deal a couple of weeks later. Like, why did he put a hard deadline on... All right, it's August. I'm done talking.
Because he'd already dealt with it for 18 months, had he not?
Sure, but why not have an open dialogue? Why close those doors? If Roquan Smith can figure it out in a month with no agent, why can't Lamar?
But I hate those. I see those. Loma and Laramie Tunsil did it. That's different money. That's way different. This is a quarterback, $250 million.
Yeah.
I think it's higher stakes. It means much more than a left tackle or a linebacker. So people always bring those up. They did it. They're not asking for what Lamar we think is asking.
No, you're
for. I
right.
think
Quarterback contracts are totally different.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
language in them is totally different. There's all kinds of different things added to marketing things.
Yeah.
You know, some quarterbacks have suites built into their contract as part of, you know, their salary. So it's definitely a different item when you talk about quarterback contracts. You know, for Lamar, though, I think going back in the locker room, I don't think that would be an issue. I think he's got a great bond with some of those guys in that locker room, and I think they understand.
I don't think Jamie's saying the locker room.
That's not the
I
guy.
think she's saying
I think he's got to be
GM,
I think that values.
owner,
Yeah.
coach, all that.
Like
And I
he's
think
there
that's why
grabbing
John
a bowl
Harbaugh
of
was saying, "I
cereal
love you."
in the cafeteria, and he's like, "Sup, coach?" And he's like, "Gotta go," and he just like, "You made my life miserable." I mean, I just can't imagine the dynamic that
That's
will
right.
exist regardless of the money. Still to come.